A discarded pizza box thrown into a trash can on Fifth Avenue in the middle of Manhattan. Inside, a half-eaten crust with enough DNA to crack a case that haunted investigators for 13 years. This is the story of how a mother's relentless search for her missing daughter accidentally exposed a serial killer's graveyard. How 10 bodies turned into a mystery. How corruption stalled the investigation. And how modern science finally caught a man who thought he'd gotten away with murder. May 1st, 2010, 4:51 a.m. Oak Beach, Long Island, a gated beach community where nothing ever happens. Until tonight. Shannan Gilbert, 24 years old, working as an escort, calls 911 from a client's house. She's terrified. She flees into the darkness, banging on neighbors' doors, screaming for help. And then, she vanishes. Her driver couldn't find her. Police couldn't find her. She was gone. Shannan's mother, Mary Gilbert, refused to let the world forget her daughter. 7 months pass. December 11th, 2010. The weather is brutal. Snow, wind, freezing temperatures. Officer John Mallia and his cadaver dog, Blue, are making one more attempt to find Shannan's body. Blue stays close to the shoulder of Ocean Parkway. Then he stops. Alerts. There's a scent. They find a skeleton wrapped in disintegrating burlap, hidden in thick brush. But it's not Shannan. 2 days later, 3 more bodies, all within 500 feet of each other, all wrapped in burlap, all young women. Meet the Gilgo Four. Maureen Brainerd Barnes, 25, missing since July 2007. Melissa Barthélemy, 24, missing since July 2009. Megan Waterman, 22, missing since June 2010. Amber Lynn Costello, 27, missing since September 2010. All small, between 4 feet 10 inches and 4 feet 11 inches. All worked as Craigslist escorts, all bound with tape or belts. All murdered. On that burlap, investigators found hair. But in 2010, the DNA testing technology didn't exist to analyze it. They'd have to wait 13 years. After Melissa Barthélemy disappeared in July 2009, her 15-year-old sister started getting phone calls from Melissa's phone. But it wasn't Melissa, it was her killer, calling to taunt a child. He told her, "Your sister is dead, I'm going to watch her rot." Police traced the calls. Madison Square Garden, Midtown Manhattan, Massapequa, Long Island. But in 2009, they couldn't pinpoint who was making them. The calls were too short to trace. The bodies kept coming. Spring 2011, police expand the search. They find 6 more sets of remains. Jessica Taylor, killed in 2003. Parts of her body found in 2 different locations, 8 years apart. Valerie Mack, disappeared in 2000. Sandra Costea, 1993, a toddler, an Asian male, a woman who'd become known only as Peaches. 10 victims total, spread across decades. Was this one killer, or multiple predators using the same dumping ground? Police had clues, the burlap, the bindings, the locations, the phone calls. But for 12 years, nothing. Why did the investigation stall? 2 words, James Burke, the Suffolk County Police Chief. A man with a history of internal affairs complaints. A man who would later be convicted of obstruction of justice. Burke blocked the FBI from helping. He shut down investigative leads. He ran the department, as one documentarian put it, like a crime syndicate. While Burke protected his own interests, the families of the Gilgo Four waited, mourned, demanded answers. But in 2022, everything was about to change, because of a slice of pizza. February 2022. A new Suffolk County Police Commissioner takes over, Rodney Harrison. His first move, former task force, FBI, state police, county detectives, sheriff's office. Fresh eyes on a cold case. Their first meeting, early February. 6 weeks later, March 14, 2022, they have a name. The lead came from a witness, someone who saw Amber Costello's last moments in September 2010. A man came to her house, picked her up. The witness described him as an ogre, and he was driving a dark green first-generation Chevrolet Avalanche. Investigators ran the records, first-gen Avalanches in the area. Cross-referenced with other evidence. One name appeared. Rex Andrew Hoyerman, He was hiding in plain sight. Rex Heuermann, 59 years old, married, father of 2 adult children, an architect. He founded his firm in 1994, RH Consultants and Associates. Worked in Manhattan since 1987. Had clients like Catholic Charities and American Airlines. He lived in Massapequa Park, Long Island, just across the bay from Gilgo Beach. Neighbors called him strange but quiet. Actor Billy Baldwin went to high school with him. In 2022, he did a YouTube interview about architecture. He smiled. He posed for selfies. He had no idea he was already a suspect, because investigators had been watching him for months. Heuermann used burner phones. Investigators tracked calls pinging between Midtown Manhattan, where he worked, and Massapequa Park, where he lived. The same pattern matched the locations where the Gilgo Four disappeared. May 19, 2023, surveillance cameras catch Heuermann at a Manhattan cell phone store. He's buying more minutes for a burner phone. They're watching. He has no idea. But they still needed DNA, and Rex Heuermann was about to give it to them. January 26, 2023. A surveillance team follows Heuermann in Manhattan. He buys pizza, eats it, throws the box in a trash can on Fifth Avenue. The team moves in, retrieves the box, sends it to the Suffolk County Crime Lab. They swab the leftover crust, extract DNA, then they wait. Meanwhile, in an evidence vault, there's hair, found on burlap that wrapped Megan Waterman's body in 2010. For 13 years, it's been waiting for technology to catch up. April 28, 2023. A detective hand-delivers that hair to the same lab. June 12, 2023. The results come back. 99.96% match. The DNA on the pizza crust matches the hair found on Megan Waterman. But there's more. Hair found on the burlap wrapping the victims. It's not just his DNA. It's his wife's. Asa Ellerup's hair is on the evidence. But she wasn't involved. Investigators confirm she was out of state, with their children, every single time the murders happened. The theory? Hair transfer, shared car seats, laundry. Household surfaces. The killer brought his victims to his home and accidentally brought trace evidence from his family along for the ride. Over 300 subpoenas, search warrants, credit card records, internet history. They find that Heuermann searched for child pornography, violent, sadistic material, information about his own victims. Between March 2022 and June 2023, his email account connected to over 200 searches about serial killers, about the Gilgo case, about investigations into the murders. He's obsessed. He's watching the investigation into himself. July 13, 2023. It's time. July 13, 2023. Evening, Fifth Avenue, Manhattan. Rex Heuermann leaves his office near the Empire State Building. He's walking calmly, bag over his shoulder, hand in his pocket. Then men in dark suits approach. "What is this about?" he asks. "It's a mistake." "What did I do?" He's arrested, charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. He cries, "I did not do this," he tells his lawyer. But when police search his home, they find something chilling. A document, a blueprint. Titled HK 2002-04, investigators believe Heuermann used it to methodically plan his kills. Section 1, Problems DNA. Tire marks, bloodstains, fingerprints, witness, photos, police stop, plastic bags matched to box. Section 2, Supplies, booties, acid, rope, saw, burn can, tarps, bags, tape. Section 3, DS, dump sites. This wasn't random. This wasn't passion. This was premeditated, calculated evil. January 2024. Heuermann charged with Maureen Brainard Barnes's murder. June 2024, 2 more charges. Jessica Taylor, killed in 2003. Sandra Costilla, killed in 1993. December 2024, Valerie Mack, killed in 2000. 7 women, spanning 3 decades. Every time. Not guilty. Every time. I want my day in court. And he'll get it. But first, one more legal battle. September 3, 2025. A judge makes a ruling that will change forensic science in New York forever. Advanced DNA testing. whole genome sequencing can be used at trial. It's the first time this technology has been admitted in a New York courtroom. The defense calls it magic. They say the science is untested, unreliable, but the prosecution argues, this is how we caught him. Degraded hair samples that couldn't be tested in 2010. We can test them now, and they lead directly to Rex Heuermann. But the DNA is just one piece. There's the burner phones, the vehicle, the internet searches, the planning document. The fact that every murder happened when his family was out of town. The trial is set to begin shortly after Labor Day 2026. One trial, all 7 murders, all evidence presented together. But before we go, remember where this all started. Shannan Gilbert. The woman police say wasn't one of Heuermann's victims. The woman whose death was ruled an accident. Her disappearance led to everything. Without Shannan, there would be no search, no discovery, no case. Her mother, Marie, fought for years to keep her daughter's memory alive, to force police to care about women that society often forgot. Marie didn't live to see Rex Heuermann arrested. In 2016, she was stabbed to death by her other daughter, Sarah, who was struggling with mental illness after Shannan's death. Marie is buried next to Shannan, 2 women whose tragedy sparked justice for 7 others. Today, Rex Heuermann sits in jail, waiting. He's changed his appearance, new haircut, calmer demeanor. He spends hours each day in jail reviewing evidence. His estranged wife, Asa, and their adult children have stood by him in court. Their world turned upside down. The families of the victims, they're still waiting for a trial, for answers, for justice. The Suffolk County District Attorney says the investigation is closed. They have their man. Now it's up to a jury, 7 women, 7 lives cut short. Maureen, Melissa, Megan, Amber, Jessica, Sandra, Valerie. They were daughters, sisters, mothers, people who struggled, people who were forgotten. Until a mother who refused to give up accidentally made sure the world would remember them forever. The trial of Rex Heuermann will be one of the most closely watched in New York history. Advanced DNA technology, 3 decades of alleged crimes, and a man who, if convicted, will never see freedom again. But whatever the verdict, one thing is certain. The women of Gilgo Beach will not be forgotten. This has been the story of how a discarded pizza box helped catch a killer.